Hi everyone, with Tech Trader out in business first, we could see guys take over Leela as the tier 1 criminal, to-go criminal for the criminal faction. Not that that says much because criminals suck right now, but I'm sure many people will be testing guys out along with Tech Trader. Now, please do forgive me for any gameplay mistakes or deck building mistake choice errors because I'm very inexperienced when it comes to playing and building guys. I'm just not very good with his ability. I chose the Ether, Keyhole, and Siphon combo because I want to find a way to leverage the Tech Trader money, and Ether just seems like the perfect place to dump all that money. I know that you'd rather run Faust because it's just broken and it synergizes with your ID, but I'm gonna give Ether a try and see how it goes. I'm playing up against NEH. My opening turn has off-campus and Tech Trader, so I install them both, drawing a sure gamble, and then I click up for a credit so I can play the gamble next turn. I play gamble in this deck because this deck does struggle with early econ a lot. I know that it's a pretty bad card for guys because you're usually not above 4 credits in the early game. So I immediately sneak door here because I can see him attempting to make a remote, so I guess that he has Agenda in hand, and I was absolutely right. After accessing I think it's a team sponsorship. I forgot what that card was. I got the Astro Pilot Program. Pretty big deal. That completely stems any form of Astro Train that he was trying to do. And now I can siege his R&D. I'm only going to get single card accesses, but they'll do. Until I find my keyhole, I won't be able to get much of R&D. So that's a bit kind of a problem. So this deck is a bit high variance in the sense that you need to find your keyhole before you can threaten any sort of win condition. Until then, you're just trying to slow down the corp. And one of the ways I slow down the corp is by playing Scrubber, which is a decent card. At the cost of only 1 influence, it deals with NEH pretty well. I get to trash Jackson Howard right here for just 1 real credit. Pretty good deal. That's the main reason why I included Scrubber. With lots of NEHs running rampant, it's nice to be a pseudo wizard. And especially since it's a connection, that helps as well. This means that it counts as an off-campus card, so you actually get card draw for that. I don't actually have that many breakers, haven't really drawn any yet. I could special order for the Ether now, but I don't have nearly anywhere enough money to get that going. In fact, a single Tech Trader isn't very good. Just one Tech Trader doesn't do much because it simply keeps you credit neutral when you use your Crescentus, your Spikes, or your Shifts. Spikes or Crowbars. All these cost 1 to install, so you're just breaking even. What you really need for money is either an account siphon or a couple of fall guys to get your money kick-started. So, seeing that he hasn't scored any agendas for a while, I'm going to try to legwork him using a Spike to see a Pack Campaign and a Baltic Labor, and an Assassin. So no agendas in hand. More importantly, that was not so much to pick off an agenda. If I could find one at that juncture, good for me. But what was more important there was to get a card draw off Spike. So I get to scan his hand and at the same time get card draw so that I can hopefully find my account siphon that much faster. I find a clone chip, which is pretty important. This allows me to get into HQ again should I need to. And right now I'm just drawing for the account siphon. Almighty account siphon. I draw into a Fall Guy. Now, Fall Guy is amazing with this Tech Trader off-campus setup. I know you don't really want to play off-campus because Guys already has card draw, but it's so good with Fall Guy that you have to play it. With off-campus, it essentially means you get 2 cards for your Fall Guy. And in this case, he attempts to trash my off-campus with Breaking News, but thankfully I installed the Fall Guy just in time so I can prevent the trashing, which draws me a card. I don't get the 2 credits, but at least I prevent the trashing. Sneak door, wrap around. There's not much reason for me to get 1 access at the cost of my clone chip, so I let that slide. Instead, I choose to set up with my Forger, I believe. No, I run the DBS and trash it because I know his weakness is HQ. NEH is always weak to agendas in HQ, so getting rid of the DBS means that his HQ will be ripe for the picking once I find some sort of way to get into HQ reliably. Now he continues threatening with another item in the remote. It could be a Sand, that's why I'm not running it. I draw into a Muertos gang member and I install it here to get essentially a free draw at the same time de-resing one of his pair campaigns. Pretty decent value. I mean, he's starting to pull away in terms of credits, so I can't really do much to his credits at this point. This is meant to be sort of a denial deck with Siphons and Crescentuses, but clearly it's proving very ineffective against NEH. This is definitely one of the weakest matchups for guys, which is surprising because I always say Criminal is best positioned against yellow. Unfortunately, it's not the case for this particular sort of deck because you don't have the HQ punishment that Leela or Gabe has. All you have is powerful card draw, but not much in the way of leveraging that that weakness. So here he uses team sponsorship to reinstall a daily business show from archives and opening me the opportunity to account siphon. Except that now account siphon is pretty useless. He only has 2 credits. He's gonna rest the DBS if I attempt to siphon here. So not only can I not deny him credits, I can't get my own credits either. What I really need right now is to gain credits from account siphon. This is how criminal snowball out of control. I'm being denied that opportunity. This is another reason why NEH is such a bad matchup. As long as they have at least 6 credits, they can Reza Sansan to preemptively disrupt your account siphon, rendering it pretty useless. Now he plays Sweet Sweet and Hedge Fund, which I'm more than happy to see because this means I can actually play my siphon here. So siphon away I go, and I actually avoid one of the tags because I have another forger in hand that I can reinstall. This was a mistake. What I should have done was to install the second tag trader in my hand first before clearing the tag with the forger. This would have gained me 1 more credit. Small things, but it really matters here when I'm looking for credits from account siphon. Every credit matters. So things go on. I will probably install 2 cards here so that I don't pop my max hand size. I install the tag trader, which does draw me 1 extra card, so I'm forced to chuck yet another card. This time it's going... Crescentus is actually pretty useless, but I discard the levy here because I don't think the game will go long enough for me to use that levy. Notice that my breakers are still in very bad shape. I only have 2 installed breakers, no clone chips. I can't really get into his remote at all. I could get into HQ, but only once. Is it worth it? Probably not. Not even for legwork, methinks. So this is a pretty bad situation. He's on match point with an Astro token. 1 more agenda wins him the game. Unlike Noise or Noise with Clot or Wizard with Turntable, I can't actually do much once he has 5 agenda points. At this point, I should hopefully be locking his R&D. So at least he's poor. I can get a couple of R&D runs, steal the build that he was trying to that he would have scored for the win otherwise, and I just have to let him go here. He draws 3 cards from DBS. Hopefully he doesn't have the win in hand or on R&D. Let's see what it does here. A pretty key turn. I'm definitely in very bad shape at this point. R&D is really my only win route here, and I still haven't found my keyhole. This is not looking good at all. And I don't have that much money either. So he plays a fast track here, gets the Astro script in hand, and installs it in the remote. He has 6 credits to defend the remote. At this point, I have to think that it's maybe double Quandary, Enigma Quandary, Archangel Enigma, something along those lines. I can't really risk it, so I'm going to make the safe play. I'm going to siphon him, and then run the remote. Siphon allows me to use my final spike to draw a card and clear all his money. This means that he cannot threaten any remote ice res. Then this allows me to clear both tags and then run his remote to delay the game a bit longer, hopefully. Wait, that's not the Astro. Sneaky boy. It was holding it in hand so he could fast advance the next turn. Very nice fake out there. I completely fell hook, line and sinker for it. I could have avoided it. If I knew he was going to be this sneaky, I should have same old thing for a legwork and legwork him. But yeah, even if I went for the legwork route, I would still have a very hard time winning, given that he was running away with the game with those daily business shows. Which leads me to review and reflect on the mistakes this game. Ether may not be that good a choice after all. I drew into the Ether, but never ever found the time to install it. I simply can't deal with the huge down payment it costs to play it. Early on I had a special order, I had the option to tutor and install the Ether, but with so few credits I couldn't. And late game, sure, installing it with a spike means that I can run through wraparounds for 1 credit, but I can't legwork through that. I can't sneak door and access with Ether. and that's a problem. I also wasn't able to contest his remotes very well. Sure, there was the siphon, the old school criminal trick of siphon followed by remote pressure, but it wasn't that good. I really needed it earlier on, but I wasn't able to get it. That allowed him to score a breaking news and an Astro script uncontested. Pretty big deal. The other big problem was Scrubber, which I found early on and was tagged to deal with this matchup. Unfortunately, it was so ineffective. I think I got maybe 6 credits of value out of that, and it cost 2 to install. So that was a net gain of 4 credits. Not very good, considering that it had to be paid out slowly, and it impacted my early tempo. Problem is, there is no Desperado in this deck, so that makes it a lot less worth it to run these remotes. With Desperado, you essentially be a wizard, and that changes a lot. The big problem is that with NEH, a lot of the assets and upgrades cost 4 or 5 to trash. Pair campaigns, team sponsorships, and of course Sense City Grid. You don't really want to use your real credits, especially before you get your second tech trader up. And this is the big problem. This deck is so reliant on setting up, unlike most other criminals. You can't get by with just a couple of breakers and a single tech trader. That's not how guys works. You really need to get the second tech trader going so that you actually profit from making runs and everything. So that said, what I think this deck could use is more setup cards that help me set up in the early game. Fall Guys is a good card. Sadly, I only saw one copy of it the entire game. Street Peddlers, another good card which I lack influence for. Maybe if I swap out the Scrubber for Peddler, I might do better. Peddler is especially amazing because it is also a connection. So it triggers off-campus apartment for 1 draw. It trashes itself for another draw, and you're probably installing a breaker, which when you use it, it breaks a piece of ice for a 3rd draw. So you're getting 3 card draws, 3 guys triggers. That's 3 credits of tech trader per tech trader. That is the amount of value you can get from Street Peddler. It's that amazing. I think it belongs in this deck, and because I'll be drawing so much, I'll probably want to try a variant with Faust and Drug Dealer in the future. For now, it's back to the drawing board and experimenting more with it. I hope you guys will experiment with it as well. Maybe let me know about how you're getting on with guys, because I really want to know how to play this deck properly. How to play this ID properly, and how to build him. I very much appreciate your input. Thanks for watching. Happy net running. See you around.